My name is Ashley Crook, and this is a trends analysis report for Franciscan University of Steubenville's Contemporary Issues in Education. Student dropouts. Each year, approximately 1 million students drop out of high school, which amounts to 7,000 every day. This is a problem that is very alarming. Students give many different reasons for dropping out because each student has their own background and set of circumstances that they deal with every day. Some feel that school is boring while others say that they are unmotivated. Many decide to leave because it is just too hard academically. I personally see this issue with many students in special education. While IEPs and support and accommodations are provided to students, they still fall academically behind. This can be a stressor on these students, and by the time they get to high school, they lack self-esteem and the skills necessary for some of the coursework. Other personal and family issues are also main factors in the dropout rate. Students may be parenting, caring for family members, or have to get a job of their own. Many say that they are failing and could not keep up with the work as it was too difficult to meet graduation requirements. Still others say the main problem is lack of parental support. There are warning signs that may be at risk for dropping out of school. The main one is absenteeism. When students stop attending school and miss a lot of days, it shows that there may be an issue. Students who have low grades or discipline problems, those who are not involved in class, behind academically, or new students to the school could all be at risk. There are many consequences that students face when they drop out. They are more likely to be unemployed, live in poverty, receive public assistance, go to jail. In recent years, advances in technology have made higher demands in a highly skilled labor force. Many entry-level jobs require a high school diploma. One study showed that dropouts make up nearly half of those on welfare. Young women who drop out are likely to have children at a young age. Stresses and frustrations can cause people to become depressed or experience regret later in life. Threats to schools are that there could be a negative effect on making adequate yearly progress. The graduation rate affects this, which then has an impact on funding. At PA Cyber, many of the students on my roster are experiencing these issues as well as others. They left their home district because they want to earn their diploma. The option of school choice has provided an opportunity for many students to work despite of some of their challenges. However, students may still have issues with motivation and academic difficulty. The curriculum we use is very demanding, and students have to meet rigorous requirements to graduate. But sometimes, just being in a different environment or having the flexibility to work in a self-paced curriculum can help students succeed. Just this past year, we have created the GAP program, which is entitled the Graduate Assistance Program. This provides additional support for students who need to work with credit recovery. It also provides individual assistance, guidance, and support to help with success. Students will then have opportunities to complete credit recovery courses, which are designed to be done in 45 days. The team monitors the progress in the individual success plan for the student. We have online and on-site opportunities for these students. They also benefit from having an additional school representative who is calling and can help with accountability. In an effort to reduce the dropout rate, as educators, we need to help students stay in school. We need to improve teaching and curriculum to make schoolwork relevant and engaging. We should improve access to support for these struggling students and provide personalized education. We also need to work on the relationships between staff, parents, and students. They need to feel appreciated and need to have a place where they can go and feel safe. Communication between parents and teachers needs to be increased also, that parents can be more involved and also be held accountable. At PA Cyber, we are on the right track because we provide personalized education, special education services, success plans, frequent communication between staff and families, establishing clear student and parent expectations at the time of enrollment, and the GAP program. In regards to the GAP program, it was just started this past year. We need to make sure that the public is aware of this service that we provide so it may entice and encourage those students to enroll. In addition to the current on-site locations, we should try to find other locations across the Commonwealth. These things all need to be done as soon as possible. However, due to these recommendations, PA Cyber will need to have a budget available. They also need to approve the budget as well as provide new staffing and employment opportunities. Common Core Standards. The Common Core State Standards Initiative is a state-led effort coordinated by the National Governors Association Center for Best Practices and the Council of Chief State School Officers. The standards were developed in collaboration with teachers, school administrators, and experts to provide a clear and consistent framework to prepare our children for college and the workforce. The standards are informed by the highest, most effective models from states across the country and countries around the world, and provide teachers and parents with a common understanding of what students are expected to learn. Consistent standards will provide appropriate benchmarks for all students, regardless of where they live. These standards define the knowledge and skills students should have within their K-12 education careers, so that they will graduate high school and are able to succeed in entry-level credit-bearing academic college courses and in workforce training programs. The standards are aligned with college and work expectations, clear, understandable, and consistent, include rigorous content and application of knowledge through higher order skills, and they build upon strengths and lessons of current state standards. They're informed by other top-performing countries so that all students are prepared to succeed in our global economy and society, and they are evidence-based. The only states that have not yet adopted these standards are Texas, Virginia, Alaska, Arkansas, Minnesota, and Nebraska. Some people have presented some concerns for adopting these common standards. There is a concern among some states that it will lower the standards for some of these areas. Educators in individual states are familiar with what they had been required to teach. For example, in Pennsylvania, textbooks and lessons that have already been developed are aligned to the previous PA state standards. Teachers will need to re-examine everything they have already been created and adapt or completely change lessons and curriculum. This also provides some other concerns that are similar to what the PSSA caused some teachers to believe. It will directly affect curriculum and what needs to be taught to the students. This can be a good thing, but the caution is that teachers should not just teach to a test. So if a national standardized assessment is developed, this may cause some issues. Opportunities are created in the implementation of these standards, such as teaching students more critical thinking and analytic skills. This can help develop students who are more prepared to succeed in college and the workplace. According to the Kaplan poll, many Americans believe that the Common Core standards will allow U.S. schools to compete globally. It is very important that the students we are teaching are prepared for the changing demands of society. Students need to become lifelong learners and engaged in the news of the world. They have to be more internationally aware. Globally competent students will become globally competent citizens. The American educational system is going through a transition in regards to globalization and the impact of technology. Critics say that American students currently lack language skills and other knowledge that puts them at a disadvantage. The students also need to be globally competitive, which means they need to have higher levels of critical thinking, literacy, communication skills, and math and science. Without the Common Core standards, schools in different states have different standards for proficiency and is inconsistent. This means that we do lack some progress in terms of educational attainment. Implementing these standards could create a sense of national unity in education and can lead us to recognize what is essential to know and be able to do in our ever-changing society. Other opportunities would be that colleges and teacher preparation could all be based on these standards. People studying education would know exactly what content would be taught to students across the United States. For PA Cyber specifically, we are held to the same standards that other districts in Pennsylvania are held to. We will need to adjust to what the requirements may be. We will have to make sure that all staff works with curriculum providers to help align curriculum to these new standards. The teachers need to be educated and trained on the new standards, as well as new lessons that would need to be created. This should be done as soon as the standards are implemented. Teachers need to be aware of what students will need to know, and when it gets closer to the school year, teachers and curriculum providers will need to work together to modify lesson plans, and then these new lessons would be implemented throughout the following school year. Frequent meetings to discuss how lessons are going and various assessments will need to be given so that students can gain feedback. School choice. School choice is continuing to become a prominent feature in education. It is a highly discussed and debated issue of the 21st century. Students and families continue to have more options in education, including charter schools, magnet schools, and cyber charter schools. In the past, there were some options for school choice, including technical schools and others. Supporters state that they provide an opportunity for school choice. If families are dissatisfied with a school that their students need to attend based on where they live, they should have an option to attend a different school. An article in Education Next titled Lessons for Online Learning states that advocates for other type of education, such as virtual education, has the power to transform an archaic K-12 system of schooling. With the rise of school choice, there are threats that traditional schools face as well as the alternate schools. The choices that are available should make traditional schools improve in order to keep up with those resources. The issue of school choice creates competition between traditional schools and the alternatives. Competition should be a good thing and should lead to positive results, but that is not always the case. The threats for schools like PA Cyber also include competition. Currently, PA Cyber is the largest cyber charter school in Pennsylvania. The enrollment increases every year, and more families decide to give it a try for various reasons. With school choice being a trend, now there are many other cyber schools starting and continuing in Pennsylvania. This creates competition, and families have more options that they can find one that suits their needs and preferences. In my opinion, it's good for families to have more options, especially since I'm an advocate of school choice. But for my school, it creates a sense of urgency. We need to stay cutting edge and be open to change. Education can be personalized to meet each student's needs, ensure all students have access to quality teaching, extend learning opportunities to all hours of the day and week, and innovate and improve over time. Students and families now have a growing option of choices when it comes to education. A goal as an employee of PA Cyber is to spread the word about school choice and the basis for what we do to people in the community. However, many people simply do not understand or do not have enough knowledge to make judgments. Other cyber schools and charter schools, we provide an alternate choice to families. It is not the right choice for every family, but people do not learn the same and their education should not be limited. Another goal could be for districts and schools to work collaboratively and share resources. It may widen opportunities for students and help reduce some resistance. In regards to competition between other cyber charter schools, we need to stay cutting edge and make sure we're offering services that people desire. We need to provide the wonderful customer service to our families and make them see that education and achievement is our #1 priority. The people involved need to include all staff. Administration needs to consult instructional staff who needs to consult families. The feedback needs to be shared at various levels and departments. I will continue to attend events like Day on the Hill in Harrisburg to fight for school choice. I believe that ultimately education should focus on outcomes and that student performance and achievement should be the goal of all educators. Here are the references that are provided for this screencast. Thank you for watching and happy holidays!